Hi, and welcome to another regular Monday All Vendors Helium Hotspot Manufacturers Update. In today's video, we'll be looking at every single helium approved manufacturer who's currently producing helium hotspots, and we will see what they have been up to in the last couple of days and whether or not there have been any developments when it comes to manufacturing or shipping of these devices. So stay tuned, I'll be right back. Hi everyone, Crypto Layman here. Thank you very much for tuning back in and welcome back to the channel for another Helium Hotspot Manufacturers Update. In this update, we will look at all HIP-19 approved Helium Hotspot manufacturers. We'll have a look at what they are saying, what's been happening over the last few days, and whether or not there have been any further developments since the last update. My last update was my regular update that I do on Fridays. The link for that update is up here on the right. If you're new to the channel, welcome to our little corner where we discuss all things helium and other popular crypto projects. Before I begin this video and with the updates, please be sure that you are aware of all the scammers in the comment section below who are trying to pass you WhatsApp numbers or email addresses for fake gurus who claim to be able to earn you a ton of money. If you come across one, please help me out by reporting those to the YouTube algorithm so that they get taken off and banned. Thank you very much. Now, without further ado, we'll jump straight into our first update. First one is RAK Wireless. RAK Wireless are the official manufacturers of the RAK version 2 hotspot miner. However, you must remember that you cannot buy those devices directly from RAK Wireless. They are just the manufacturers and they are producing those devices for CalChip Connect. If we want to look at what is happening with the RAK version 2 miner, I'm afraid we will have to rely on what is going on with CalChip Connect because they are the company that are selling and shipping these devices. Unfortunately, with CalChip, nothing has been happening over the last week or so. They didn't provide us with a regular Wednesday update last week. It remained unchanged from the previous week. However, if you have bought things like antennas and cables for your devices from RAK Wireless, which you can do, then there will be updates here on those shipping details. Unfortunately, as of now, everything appears to be quiet on RAK Wireless and nothing of any note has happened over the past few days. So I'm afraid there is not much for me to make you aware of. So the next vendor or manufacturer we'll look at is Kerlink. And unfortunately, Kerlink are also only a manufacturer for CalChip Connect, just like RAK Wireless. They are manufacturing the light hotspots with CalChip Connect. Let's have a look at what's been happening over the last week or so with the Kerlink devices. And Kerlink have decided to give us regular updates, although I must say they're not the most useful updates, as I can show you here. The update on the 1st of July was that there was no update. The update yesterday was that there was no update. And continuing in the same fashion, there hasn't been an update today either. So, unfortunately, not much going on there. The last I heard from Kerlink and the Kerlink Lite hotspot, which is being sold by CalChip Connect, was that they were anticipating that the shipping for these devices would commence towards the mid to end of July. However, as I said, no further updates have been provided, so I'm afraid there won't be any further details for that as of now. As and when the details are given to us, I will bring them to you and we will discuss those things in further detail. The next vendor we'll look at is going to be Syncrobit. First of all, as I've stated previously as well, Syncrobit have a really complicated shipping process which involves multiple steps from the factory all the way to the customer. The devices stop off in Romania, God knows for what reason and what purpose. Then they go to the distributor and from there they're further distributed out to customers. The last update we had from Syncrobit was that their FCC certification was going to be on hand on the 2nd of July. Unfortunately, no updates have been given to us since. What is going on with Syncrobit? Your guess is going to be as good as mine. It would appear that they are really complacent and really quiet for no reason. From what I gather, they should have received the FCC certification by now. They haven't confirmed it or denied it in their pins on Discord, although there is some indication within the chat itself that they have received the certification. However, they have not provided any update whatsoever when it comes to anticipated shipping dates for the North American and Canadian units that were being held back due to the lack of FCC certification. As you can see here, the last update in relation to the FCC certification was on the 26th and 27th, and there hasn't been anything since. So that leaves a lot to be desired. Right, the next vendor we shall look at is Bobcat. And Bobcat has been one of the more popular vendors out there up until recently. Over the last couple of weeks, they have started slacking off a little bit. They were shipping a batch a week previously, and then batch number 9 was announced, which was a huge disappointment, where they only shipped something like 435 units, and they said that this was due to the fact that they had to move their manufacturing unit from Wuhan to Shenzhen, and they claimed that as a result of that move, the shipping times were going to get drastically reduced. Let's shed some light on that. Before batch 9, the way shipping with Bobcat worked was that Bobcat were announcing a batch on a Friday, and they would ship those units on the Friday from their factory in Wuhan over to wherever they needed to go to. Customers got the tracking details approximately 10 days after the announcement. Now, when they moved the factory, the claim was that it was going to improve the entire infrastructure and the shipping mechanism. Let me just quickly bring that up for you. I'm pretty sure that there is an article that I can show you where this whole thing was claimed. So there we go. That was the update on June the 25th. Factory moved, and they're saying that but whilst this contributes to delay in the short term, we hope that ultimately will improve the logistics and expedite overseas shipping. In batch 10, when they made the announcement, they were quite clear that batch 10, although announced last Friday, they were going to start shipping batch 10 next Friday. So this is going to be Friday coming. Now, once batch number 10 has been shipped, the tracking details will follow a couple of days later. So ultimately, what they are saying is it's still taking 10 days to get those shipping details. So unfortunately, as of right now, there is no positive effect as a result of the move of the factory. So that was a huge disappointment because they added another week. Besides that, nothing else has happened, and that is where we stand in terms of Bobcat. Right, the next vendor we'll look at is LongAP. I'm afraid there hasn't been much happening, to be honest, in LongAP. They're still sort of processing and recovering from the first 2 botched sales that they did, and not much has been achieved since. Nothing else has been updated by them, besides the fact that they are still processing refunds and still trying to justify what happened and that it wasn't their fault. The community is up in arms against them, to be perfectly honest. As I said, again, nothing else has been done. There is no announcement or further talk about a third sale, and we just don't know what's going on with LongAP at this moment in time. Unfortunately, I don't have anything else to share with you. Right, now let's look at Nebra. And Nebra are still about the same as they were last week or the week before that. They're still shipping batch number 2 and manufacturing batch number 2 and 3. So that's all in hand. Apparently, batch number 4 is still set to go ahead and ship this month. Again, I will always take that with a pinch of salt. We've had an announcement today from AJ, and he is saying that the next 4,000 units are going to be ready this week, but that's his belief. It's not a fact. The DHL shipment arrived with us this afternoon, so they've got it today. UK batch 2 units have started shipping out, so which DHL shipment has arrived with them, I'm not entirely sure. And any of batch 1 that needed replacements that were broken or kaput, they have been included in that batch as well. Again, today, earlier on, there was an update saying that they're still looking to get more frequent updates out, and AJ has been updating the pins quite regularly today. According to the manufacturers, batch number 4 is still planned and will go ahead. But then that comes with a disclaimer, because they can only rely on the information that has been provided to them by the factory, which may not be 100% accurate all the time. That is what they've been communicated to by the factory. So batch number 4 may or may not happen this month. I personally have a device in batch number 4, and I will tell you my opinion. I am not setting my hopes very high. So as I said, I am taking this whole thing with a pinch of salt. So that's, I think, what you should do as well. Anyway, so that's what's happening in terms of Nebra. Again, a lot of backlash within from the community, and there was a really interesting event that happened that was posted on Reddit as well. Apparently Nebra, or the admin team at Nebra, or somebody, I don't know who it was actually deleting messages from the chat. So anyone who was criticizing them within the Discord channel, somebody from the team or somewhere else, obviously somebody with the admin rights, was taking it upon themselves to go ahead and delete those messages as they were typed. And that is incredibly frustrating and really unprofessional. And then there was talk about somebody from the Helium team calling them out on that and saying that they are going to be revoking permissions for these admins, channel admins, to remove and delete messages. How true that is, I am not entirely sure. That was posted on Reddit. I can show you the post. So this is a screenshot from it where AJ says, "Sorry, Shine is right. I was looking in the wrong place. I'll escalate it in Flowship. Hey guys, any updates about EU miners from batch 3 or 4? When will they approximately ship?" And then somebody said, "Do you mean mod deleted your messages and they'll probably delete this or ban you, something else?" I'm not entirely sure. It doesn't give the entire context of the conversation, so it's really difficult to make out what was actually happening. And then somebody from Capcom, or somebody called Capcom, I'm not entirely sure who they are, hate to call you out publicly like this, but we can see you deleting messages from this channel at a pretty furious rate in the server auditing log. It is not the Helium team or the moderators. We are revoking the pin and delete permissions for vendors so it's not abused any further. So that's what happened, starting on OnlyFans for Nebra. So people obviously started taking the mick out of them on the channel. So it was just brilliant. However, as I said, that was somebody calling the Nebra team out directly, particularly AJ, and saying that you need to stop deleting these messages because we can see that in the channel or server auditing logs. And it's not the Helium team or the moderators who are doing this, but indirectly pointing the finger pretty much at the Nebra team. So this is a shameful act if this indeed happened. So hopefully, now that their permissions have been revoked, people can express their opinions and hopefully not get banned. So that's it in terms of Nebra. So that was a little bit of gossip that I wanted to give you. And let's move on to our next vendor. So now we look at SenseCap. And unfortunately, no further updates have been given to us in relation to SenseCap. Everything appears to be the same, and that's what they have reflected in their latest pin as well. So hi, thank you for your patience. There is nothing to announce today. Have a lovely day. That's brilliant. So nothing else besides the previous updates. In the previous update, they acted on the community feedback and upgraded their device antennas from 1.2 dBi gain to a 2.8 dBi gain antenna. So that was quite nice of them to listen to the community. But besides that, unfortunately, no further developments have been made when it comes to SenseCap. If you're interested in this device, make sure you subscribe to the channel and you click that bell icon. I will be giving you updates as and when they announce a sale. And finally, we'll look at our last two vendors. And I'm not going to spend too much time on these because they are still in the process of being proved. Unfortunately, nothing else has developed so far when it comes to Linksdot or Heltec Automation. They are still waiting in different stages of the process. So Linksdot are waiting for the Helium Oversight Committee meeting on the 28th of July. And Heltec are waiting for feedback on their sample unit that they sent to the Helium team for testing and approval. So that is it in terms of these two vendors. So that's it in terms of your Monday update. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you have any further suggestions or updates, please make sure that you leave me a comment. If you're not already, please make sure you subscribe to the channel. Every subscription helps, and I really appreciate your support. Thank you very much. Look after yourselves, and I will speak to you soon.